Hey guys, what's up? Green Films Official here. Welcome to Does It Hold Up, the series on this channel where I look at older media and see whether or not it holds up in the current year. I decided it would be fun to do another one of these since I've only done one before, and that was back in the Stone Age. In today's episode, we will be looking at LA Noire, one of Rockstar Games' flagship titles. LA Noire has you playing as Cole Phelps, a former World War II soldier and now police detective, as you try and solve numerous crimes happening throughout LA and later discover a grand conspiracy. It was released on the 17th of May 2011 and is considered one of Rockstar's most iconic games. But is it still worth playing in the current year? Let's find out. You get to do all sorts of fun things like investigate crime scenes in order to gather evidence, interrogate people, get into shootouts, and car chases. There is also city exploration where you get to drive around, chat with your partner, do some side quests, and maybe cause some property damage along the way.
I don't got a chance in the picture if you get caught driving like this.
There are 5 main desks that you have to go through in order to beat this game, those being the Patrol Desk, which serves as the game's tutorial and shows Cole as a normal police officer, the Traffic Desk, where you have to solve, get this, traffic-based crimes, the Homicide Desk, where you go after a depraved and perverted serial killer, the Vice Desk, which has you solving crimes related to some of that wacky tobacco, and the Arson Desk, which the game ultimately builds to throughout. Starting off, I think the writing in this game is absolutely brilliant. I thought the story was really engaging. I liked most of the twists and turns. A lot of the supporting characters were really entertaining. The dialogue is awesome. And I really liked Cole Phelps as a character. A lot of people say that he's kind of robotic, mainly Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation. I can see where this argument comes from early on in the game to some degree. However, I think later on in the game, Cole is shown to have more personality and is actually quite a complex character. The way I see it, he's just trying to remain calm and professional while going through this incredibly hard job, and it's shown that even he has a breaking point. There's a really excellent part in the game where that professionalism finally breaks and he loses his cool at a certain character who's been giving him a lot of crap throughout the entire game.
He was a better man than you'll ever know. You say one more word about him and I will blow your head off!
This actually leads really well into my next point about voice acting, motion capture, and character animation. The voice acting hasn't aged a day. When I hear these characters talk, I hear the characters. I don't hear a bunch of voice actors saying their lines. I find the motion capture absolutely outstanding. Like, it's incredible. You could make the argument that we have games with better mocap now, such as Marvel's Spider-Man or Uncharted 4, and while that is true to some extent, you have to consider LA Noire came out in 2011 and the motion capture is this good. Like, I think it's an achievement. However, the animations are very PlayStation 3 era, which, I mean, they don't look bad per se, but it's just because the characters' faces are so animated and real looking. Seeing these obvious video game character animations, paired with the great mocap sort of creates an uncanny valley feeling, if you know what I'm saying. How about that gameplay, though? Has that held up? Mostly. The crime scene investigation was pretty good for the most part, and at its best, it felt like you were really investigating a crime scene. But at its worst, it's like, well, Yahtzee put it best when he said,
methodically tramping back and forth across a crime scene waiting for your controller to shake.
I have no real complaints for the interrogation aspect of the game. It's fun to try and read characters' facial expressions, and it's so rewarding to use evidence against them. I'm not sure how popular this opinion is, but I really like the shootouts. I found them very fun, and whenever one started, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Then there are the car chases. Oh, the car chases. Okay, let me rant for a second here. The car chases aren't very fun at all, and they have not held up at all. So for starters, you're really not all that fast, which kind of sucks because a lot of the gameplay has to do with swerving the person you're chasing, Also, the turning doesn't feel nearly precise enough for high-octane gameplay like this. It's fine when you're exploring the city, but when you're chasing after someone, it just feels like you either turn too little or turn too far, and it just... it's so frustrating. It feels like whenever I'm in a car chase while playing this game, I always crash into buildings, and it hardly ever feels like my fault. And of course, the bad guy is like the best driver of all time. Maybe I'm just bad, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like these car driving controls were built for car chases, you know? It makes things that should be fun, like trying to swerve the bad guy, into feeling like more of an annoyance. Even when your partner tries to bust the tires by shooting at them, it doesn't make the chases any easier because your partner can't aim to save his life. Some of the chases were fun, but I found the vast majority of them to be tedious and kind of annoying, and they really brought the game down for me because there were so many of them. I want to talk about the Homicide Desk briefly because I think it's good, but I do have some issues with it. For starters, every crime scene begins to feel very samey because the victim is always a dead naked woman, which I thought was strange. Like, I don't know, just, you know, caused all the crime scenes to just blend together in my brain, you know? I kind of wish the killer was more like John Doe from Seven, who kills people in different ways dependent on who they are as people. Also, speaking of the killer, the reveal of who it is, well, let's just say it's kind of underwhelming. He's literally some guy who you talk to like once and then never see again until the reveal. It's almost kind of like the game was saying,
watch out! It's that one guy.
I mean, it makes sense why that one guy is the killer, but I kind of wish he was a pre-established character who showed up every once in a while just to make the reveal hit harder, I guess. Like, maybe have him show up before the Homicide Desk, maybe as a friend of Cole or something. I thought that would have made the reveal more impactful. I also want to briefly touch on the grand conspiracy at the end of the game, the big story that the game gradually builds up to, and I really liked it. I thought the build-up was nice. And the answer made the intrigue feel worth it. However, I do feel as though the character of Harlan J. Fontaine was kind of underutilized, and he left the story much earlier than I expected or wanted. Leyland Monroe was cool though, I liked his character a lot. I found the ending to be really sudden and abrupt, but I still really liked it because it tried something unconventional and mature, which is appreciated. So, does LA Noire hold up? Yeah, I'd say so, for the most part anyway. I really like the story, the characters, the dialogue, and the gameplay is pretty fun for the most part. The only thing that really, like, hinders my enjoyment is the chases, because, yeah, no, that's the only part that just doesn't hold up at all. But everything else, though, is just as good as playing a modern day release, honestly. I think I might go as far to say this is the best detective game ever, at least that I've played. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Even leave a comment if you like. I like getting those. Your support really helps out the channel. And yeah, thank you for watching. I love you all and see you in the next one, you beautiful people. Bye!